raining like 2 months straight. Whee! Hello guys, Steve's Haunted Yard here on an update for the skull again. I got my piece of plexiglass and I traced the inside of the Lindbergh skull. Oh look, my little fake camera just saw me moving. Whoop. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that this year. Anyway, squirrel! So I'm going to cut this out for this guy so I can mount the servos a little easier. And then I got to figure out a little bit of a bracketing system to mount those servos. I also today got a new glue gun. This is like a higher wattage than I've had before. It says high temperature. Maybe that'll help me do the cobwebs a little better. I'm planning on, within the next week or so, doing an update for you guys. And I'm going to try to cobweb some of this room. So look forward to that. That ought to be fun because, oh yeah, do I have enough glue sticks or what? These are those big long ones. That's quite a few glue sticks. Hell to the yeah. So anyway, plexiglass today, heat gun today. Oh, and shims. So what I'm going to do with these, and I was going to tell you guys, I don't know how many of you guys use haunt walls. Well, the garage floor isn't perfectly 100% even. So when you build these walls, if you don't get everything 100% square, you've got little spaces under here, which lets this thing move like that. Well, I bought these shims. So I'm going to, as I build these walls, I'm going to shim it to make this a little bit tighter to where these walls won't move. And I'm going to brace it a lot more, but the shims will assist in that too. Just a cool tip to help with that. And I have a special request. Pat Dempsey on Facebook asked how I did my lighting. Was I just pointing at my chin? I think I was. Asked how I did my lighting. So I've had a few people ask me how I do my lighting each year, and really it's trial and error. I will put the lights out generally where I think they go, and I'll have, of course, all my tombstones out there. A lot of times I have to move my tombstones around and the lights around until it really, really looks good. Sometimes a floodlight will block light to another tombstone. Sometimes you want the tombstone to create a cool shadow on your house. But let me show you the lights that I use. Here is my bucket of lights. So pretty much I use these eco-friendly party bulbs. The deep blue in a lot of my pictures, it's these guys, these party bulbs. And they're pretty inexpensive. You can catch them on sale here and there. I really want to move to LED spots. I did use LED spots a couple years ago. I actually got them from Minions Web, and it rained a ton that year. I put saran wrap over the, what did I use? Here, I use these guys. I use these guys here. These cheapo floodlight things. I really would like to move to metal. Anyway, these guys, I use these, and I put the LED spots in here, and then I cover this with saran wrap, and then I put a rubber band on there when it was raining. And condensation would still get in there, of course, and I'd dump it out. And after having everything in the yard for an entire month, moisture got down in here, and a lot of the, well, see that one? That is, hell, look at that one. The actual light bulb base is still in there that I couldn't get out in this one. I don't know if you can tell that or not. That's not the bottom of the thing to screw into. That's the actual base to an LED spot. I don't think I have a single spot that still works from all the ones that I bought. Every single one of them rusted out. I think they updated them after that, and they're a little more weather resistant. They're not waterproof. They're a little more weather resistant. So that kind of deterred me from wanting to buy more of those. These guys, I've never had one of these burn out from moisture. And what I typically do is put a mason jar over these or a plastic jar. It's basically these jars like that. And I will put it over the base and I will hot glue it. And it's worked really well for the last few years. Basically like that right there. Like that. Bam. To protect those party bulbs. Just like that. Now, I have kicked some of these before on accident and knocked it off and then broken the bulb. But that's, you know, it happens. If there's a better way to secure those than hot glue, that'd be great, but the hot glue works pretty good. I think what I did last year was hot glued everything except for a bottom portion. So there's kind of a drainage hole on the bottom for when condensation gets in there so it would drain out. Anyway, but this worked really good, and I still have a lot of these that are still sealed with the bulbs in them that are still working. I don't know if anybody else has done it that way before, but it worked for me. So primarily my light, to answer the question, and a long about answer there, is these party bulbs. And I used floodlights several years ago. Floodlights really suck. They don't really put out the light that these party bulbs do, which is really funny. Like here's a floodlight. This floodlight really sucks. It gets really hot. It uses a ton of energy. And they don't look as good. The color is not as deep as with the party bulbs. So if you've never tried them before, try them. The color on those is very rich and deep, and it does cover a large area. So hopefully that answers your question, Pat. And I just run a shitload of extension cord, which really sucks. Last year was very difficult because I had people walking through the yard, so I really took a lot of care in where I placed the cords, and I actually buried a bunch of them. Not doing that this year. Not going to happen. Yard will be closed off this year. No one's going in the yard. They will just look at it from the outside, and then the haunt this year will be kind of upgraded and better since they're not getting to walk through the yard. So I'm going to really make sure this thing is a lot better this year. Anyway, I'm going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this pattern right here. I just tested with my little Dremel, this little routing bit. I just cut off that corner, and it cut it really good. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to cut this out, and we'll see what that looks like after I'm done. Watching the blog TV and working on my Pico Talk skull for this year. I got the eyes mounted in there. Damn.
That tone.
Hey, Potty Mouth.
He gets just hurt somewhere.
I got the eyes in there, and I got the plexiglass cut. I don't know if you can see that, but there's plexiglass in there. And I'm trying to see where I would need to mount everything. Getting it mounted, so. I said mounted. Alright, well I'm going to call this a night because it is 11:30. I'm going to continue listening to Blog TV, but I'm going to end this video here and edit and upload.